What is up, guys? How's it going? So, today we're going to be talking about parsing import declarations. This one should be a pretty quick video. It's kind of like the middle of the week anyway. It's going to be like Wednesday, so this is going to be a really quick one. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. So, what we're going to be doing is we're basically going to be, so like you have your import std. So we're going to be I'm going to show you guys how to process this and then also like std.io or maybe even let's say std.io.everything. So if you want to parse or if you want to import everything in the standard.io library, you can do it that way. So let's figure out how to do that. So I'm going to go to, where is it? Parser. So first we're going to start off with this again. So if we have any access types, then we want to say illegal access declaration because that shouldn't be happening. We go into here for parsing import, and as you guys know, we need to create our branch. So we create a branch and we call it our AST import declaration. We have our identifier, and then we pass the branch. So you want to, this is important. So when you're actually expecting things like we already went over this function, but when you're passing in the AST, please make sure, because I did this before, I had some bugs in my parser where I passed in AST, which that's not going to work. What that's going to do is that's going to pass basically the higher level AST, and it's not going to add it to the actual branch. So there were cases where I was parsing things and I was doing the higher level AST instead of putting things in the actual branch. Um, so just be mindful of that. Then of course we're going to have our while loop. So it's going to be pretty simple. We just like check for a dot. So you can have your imports where you can have like just one word. So you can say import std, which is just one identifier or one word, and then our semicolon. So that's why we want to check to see if there's a dot after this word. So of course we process our word, and then we want to make sure there's a dot because it's not required. So after that, we expect a dot, and then we expect this keyword. So we expect this little character here, and if we find this character, then we basically want to stop. So we want to expect this character, and then we want to break out of this loop because the user shouldn't do st.everything dot, I don't know, something else. Like it doesn't make sense to do that. What the user is basically saying is I want to import everything from the standard library. So that's kind of why we break it there. And of course, if the user has some weird stuff after this, well, we're going to be expecting, so like if we do this, we're going to be expecting a semicolon here. So if they did something like dot whatever, well, it's going to look at this dot and it's supposed to be a semicolon. So we'll just error out so the user won't be able to actually compile the code. So let's go back. So once we do that, so if it's not a multiplication sign, then we just expect an identifier. So you can have, words dot words dot words. That's gonna kind of be the format. And then finally, we just want to expect our semicolon. So as you notice, again, I'm saying false for adding the token. So I want to add these tokens here because when we're actually processing this on the actual compiler side, we want to process and know what the formatting is. We want to know if there's a multiplication sign here because then that means that we want to pull everything from this standard library, and we also want to concatenate the dots, but we'll see how we do that later. So another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start printing out what the actual, I'm going to do branch to string. So I'm going to start printing out just so that we can see it. I think it would help a lot. Like, I mean, this is pretty easy, but when we start getting to more complicated things, I'm just going to start printing out what the actual output of every parsed whatever we're looking at looks like. That way, it's a bit easier for you guys to visually understand it because I know some people are visual learners, kind of like me, so I think this will help out a lot. So I'm going to just output this here, sc.flush. All right, there we go. Oops. All right, so if we go here and we try to compile this, so we're going to compile this format and then we can see what actually gets printed out. So if we look here, we get our import declaration, we see std dot this. So when we're actually parsing this, we're going to like parse this. And then for those of you who are wondering how we end up doing this, well, typically if like let's say I have a module called std.io. Here I'm going to run it again. Whenever we have a star, what we're going to do is we're going to look for any modules that start with std dot, and if it starts with that prefix, then we want to import that module, as well as the module itself. So that's how we do it, and like I said, we'll get into it a little bit later. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That is parsing import declarations. Hopefully that made sense for you guys. If you have any questions, definitely write them in the comments section below. Also, if you guys would love for me to do anything this Sunday, I don't have a video plan because I don't really have anything to talk about. But if you guys have any questions or you want me to demo things or show you how to do stuff, then definitely write them in the comments section below. So next episode, most likely what we're going to be talking about is we're going to go into class declaration. I decided not to do it in this episode because this one's a bit more involved. There's quite a lot of code that we have to go over, so there's that. Also, one other thing I forgot. So when you're parsing your import declaration, obviously at the very top, I have my is module declaration. So I have my is import declaration, and all I do is the same thing I did up here. I just change the string to whatever this is. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As per usual, if you guys would love to stay up to date with the project, you can definitely check out this repo, github.com/androjevcd/sharp. Definitely check this out. You can check out either the master or the remastered. The master branch is for releases. The remastered branch is what I update the most frequently, so definitely check out this branch. Also, if you'd like to know maybe things that I've done to the language or stuff that I want to add, check out the docs folder and you can look in my changelist file and see all the things I've already added to the language, or you can check out the roadmap file and you can see all the things that I've either done to the language that I'm working on or things that I'm also looking to add. So that's it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe if you guys like what you saw and you want to see more. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.